Vintage. I'm a decorative furniture painter, DIYer, antique booth owner, and avid outdoors woman. I am actually using fabric Mod Podge for the first time today. You could probably use the regular Mod Podge for this project, but since this is the first time I'm doing it, I thought I would just go ahead and do the fabric Mod Podge first. So we're going to Mod Podge some shoes. Be perfect for Christmas if you need to do some quick, cute shoes for Christmas. I'm actually doing, Christmas is a couple days. We're starting off Valentine's Day. So I got some cute shoes, real simple. I actually got these at Hobby Lobby. They were $6.99. They weren't even on sale. I thought I was going to have to go to Walmart or Target to get something pretty cheap. So I thought for the first time, I'm going to try the type plain, no ties. I think the ties will be just a little more entailed. This one, I think once I get this down, I think I could move it to those. So we're going to Mod Podge some Valentine fabric, and then we're going to paint them. So I'm going to tilt you down, and I'm going to show you what I am doing. Hi, Miss Gia. I'm in the Bay Area of California, and it is cold, even for us here in California. Cold. So you definitely want to put some stuffing in. This is just some, it's not tissue paper, it's a little heavier. Because that will kind of help it hold its shape to make it easier to Mod Podge. And then when we go to put it on, nothing's going to drip through. So what I first did was I just took some paper and I placed it on this section to use as a pattern. But I learned very quickly it would have been so much easier to use parchment paper because you can actually see it. I was actually kind of doing it by feeling. So if you used parchment paper or wax paper, it would be much easier because then you can see it. So I did do that ahead of time. I did also go ahead and cut out one side. So this is the fabric we're using. And I had to trim it. I just took my time and trimmed it. I want it to be perfect when I go to put it on. And it's pretty close. I am going to get it in place. So I'm not going to do anything with this elastic part, but the rest of this, we're going to paint black. So let me get this kind of in place. Because I made it a little too short. Hold on, let me get it in place. Right here. But I'm okay with that because I can just paint it black or leave it the white because you really can't see it. So what I also figured out was once you get one pattern, if you flip this over, there's our other pattern. So we're going to, instead of me cutting out another one, we are going to flip it over. And then we'll have the second piece to go on. Just making sure that I am on, not over. And then what I'll do is where I made it a little too short, I'm going to try and go a little longer. So, and yes, it probably would be better to pin it down. I don't have those kind of patience, so I just want to trim it and Mod Podge it and paint and go. So my sister doesn't ever watch my lives. These are actually a Christmas present for her. She loves these kind of things. So I didn't want to give her Christmas because Christmas is over when I give them to her. So now she'll be able to wear these pretty much starting Christmas Day. So think about every season you can do, every theme you could do. I mean, the possibilities are so endless. Okay. Now I am going to cut where I think it needs to go. And then I'll make these cute little V shape in here. And then we are going to use the fabric Mod Podge to put it on. We're going to do a couple, one on the bottom, one on the top, and then I am going to go over it with my regular Mod Podge. I just want these to be secure. So now, this one I already know fits. So I'm going to get that kind of in place. So this one I may have to do some trimming. So I'm going to kind of lay it where it goes. These kind of shoes are pretty easy because the point right here is really where it starts. So I could actually trim that a little shorter. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna trim it a little bit. Trim that side. That side looks good. And then I'm gonna round the toe a little bit more. And good fabric scissors definitely are helpful on this. But you could do tissue paper, you could do wrapping paper. It doesn't have to be just fabric. And get that back lined up. I think that is actually pretty good. I want to stretch this fabric a little bit. I don't want any room for sag. Okay, now get rid of this. So I'm actually gonna put the Mod Podge on the fabric. Oops. Then we're gonna kind of ease it into shape. Now the difference I noticed with the fabric versus the regular, this is so much thicker. I don't know if you've ever used fabric versus regular, but this is much thicker. We just want to make sure we get everything covered. Oopsie. Whoopsie. Okay, got a good coating on there. Now, pick it up and I'm going to start on one side. Get that into place. I'm not paying attention to one side. I'm just looking at where I'm trying to line it up. It's falling out of my hand. So I'm just looking at the edges right now. Just lining all of that up. Perfect. Now, right here, I see I kind of went a little farther. I'm going to trim it before it even goes down. Perfect. And then this one little section, a little bit over. Come on. So I'm just going to trim that part. Perfect. I mean, those are super cute just like they are, but I want to paint the back of them. So now I'm going to go over this. We'll get a good coating on. And I don't want to get it where I'm going to be painting. So I'm trying to be careful around that section. And I don't want to get it on the rubber. I'm going to try and leave that white, but I do want to make sure I'm right up on the edge. So this would make a super cute last minute gift for somebody. Especially if you know something that they are into, like Star Wars or what is it, like the Avengers. That'd be really cute. Just making sure all of the edges are good. Okay, now we're gonna let that dry. Now we'll put it on the back side of this one. And then we'll kind of do the same thing and get it in place. Just making sure I have the whole thing covered. Oopsie. Not paying attention. Okay. So here we have our side down. Trying to watch along the seam. Around our toe. That there. What do we have going on here? I think I need to pull this up a little bit more. I'm going to play with it and just get it all to line up. without getting any wrinkles. Okay. So since I'm pulling and kind of stretching, so it has come over a little bit, I'm going to trim that. You probably could use an X-Acto knife. I'm just afraid I'm going to cut through the shoe. Perfect. And then we'll just kind of rub out that crease. Perfect. Now there's a little bit more I could cut right there, just to get it off of the rubber. Okay. Get a little bit more behind this one. Now we'll cover the whole thing. One of two coats. I'm going to do one coat of this and let it dry, and then the next coat will be regular Mod Podge. I want her to be able to wear these in the rain. Not that we get a lot of rain in California, but you know. I don't want them to come undone the first time she wears them out. Having a couple coats on will definitely protect them. Just making sure there's no wrinkles or creases. Fabric is much easier to lay down, I think, than paper on a rounded surface. Looks good. Now we're going to paint. I mean, you could leave them white. It matches this fabric perfect, but I want to paint them black because, you know, when you wear white shoes, they get dirty so fast. I am using my furniture paint. This is resin paint, Rethunk Junk. Now, I think I want to leave those white. So I'm just going to get right up to that trim. This is, if you are a good if you could draw very well, this is where you could do some fun things in the back. I'm kind of using a bigger brush right now, but I'm going to go back with a smaller brush. In fact, I'm going to do the smaller brush. I'm going to kind of line out my edges first. I bought a pair of Converse that somebody hand painted some sunflowers on. I miss Debbie Lee, and they are the most adorable, and I love them, but they were over $100. I mean, These shoes were $7. So if you could paint sunflowers or paint hearts, you could even cut the fabric and go through the back. So you have the whole shoe looking like that. I kind of wanted for my sister. I think she's going to like this look better than that. Otherwise, do the fabric all the way around. I'm going to kind of get all the way in the edges. Then I'll go back and do the middle with a bigger brush. This angled brush helps. Hi, Miss Roxanne. Right? You could do one for Easter. You could do them for birthdays. You could do them, I could just think of so many things. Like just to match the outfit you're wearing that day. Okay, I got some little wispies on this brush. Let me get a different brush. I think I'm gonna have to pour out some paint. Okay, so those edges are done. Now I can go back with a bigger brush and not have to worry about too much about going along the side. Like, how cute is that? Feels like 38. Oh my goodness. So we are camping next week for New Year's Eve, and it's supposed to rain all week long. We're going to Dillon's Beach, Lawson's Landing. So being at the ocean when it's raining, oh shoot, that'll be fun. We're in an RV, so it's fine. But we're going with friends I haven't seen in a year, especially since we moved. I haven't seen them. But yeah, I think everywhere is supposed to be cold this week. I'm just going to rub till I get that spot. Okay. Now there may be spots once it dries I have to go back and touch up, and I will do that. Oh, I wonder, my sister's a sparkly kind of girl. I wonder if I should throw some glitter in there. You know what, I think I might before or after I put the next coat on. Okay. There is the first one. Super cute. Now, and I'm going to let this completely dry, this Mod Podge, before I put the next coat on. That way it'll be completely protected. And you could, this is fabric Mod Podge and fabric. It's fabric I got from Hobby Lobby. And now we're gonna just paint them to match. Because it's easier to have black shoes than white shoes. They get dirty, you don't wear them as much. Normally these little kind of canvas shoes I'll throw in the washing machine. I don't think I would throw these in the washing machine, but they can at least be spot cleaned. You could whip up a quick pair for Christmas. Go with your Christmas outfit. Okay. Thanks, Miss Margaret. I get all these edges. It's easier for me to do the outside than color in the inside. Be a little more careful. I am trying to keep that trim white. Oh, I got a little thick there. But that's okay. I have my baby wipe. And just grab my nail right up on the edge. Okay. Let me get the smaller brush and finish that out. Okay, I can't see it. Can't see. I know one of the acrylic craft paints make a multi-purpose paint, and I'm pretty sure that would work on the shoes. Then you don't have to worry about it anywhere. Okay. Now you just fill it in. Oops, I got a little sloppy. Oh, I did it again. I got a little bit up there, but that's okay. When it dries, I will go back with some white, or I'll go back with a fine black brush and just try and even that out. But I'm going to wait for it to dry. If I start messing with it now, I'm going to make it worse. I've learned. Let it dry, and then I can fix it. Nobody will know but me. Okay. Now, go back to the first. And actually, there's a little bit right here where the fabric didn't go all the way up. I'm not going to paint that black. I'm okay with how that is on both of them, actually. It wasn't exact. I'm okay with that. They're still a little tacky, but this turned out so cute. So I'm going to leave the paper in there and everything to let them dry. I'm going to let them dry overnight. Tomorrow I'm going to put another coat of Mod Podge on, and then I'm going to check and see anywhere that I need to touch up the black paint or try and fix it. Where? Right there. I went a little too far, but I'll fix it. I'll get a very fine brush and I'll connect those two together. It'll be fine. But I'm just, if it's like right here, you can see the white. It's not really coming on camera, but the canvas is showing through just a little bit. But I'm going to let it all dry because that may happen in other places. But that's an easy way to make seasonal shoes. Who'd have thought? The shoes came from Hobby Lobby, but you can use an old pair you have. I'm using resin paint for the black, and then that's fabric. But like I said, you could use ribbon, you could use napkins, you can use tissue.